Hi. This video is unnecessary, and it's about a piece of content on the internet that people have noted seems disturbing or whatever. And it's the about page on someone's blog, and that someone is someone who did something rather horrible recently and is now infamous. This person who's gained infamy had actually several blog pages that included imagery that is somewhat consistent between pages to, quote, identify themselves, end quote. The individual had posted from 2007 to 2022 nothing. There was like this giant dead space of many, many years on at least one website. Now, people are wondering why that would be and what's with the inconsistency. If a person has a dramatic emotional or psychological or possibly social status change in their life, they might stop posting and then start up again later on. This has happened enough that most of you are aware of at least one person on the internet or maybe even interpersonally who's done that, where they just disappear for a long time and then show up again. Anyway, back in 2007, this blogger that we're not naming here expended a lot of effort typing up blog posts and reposting random stuff, apparently most of it being June, talking about spiritualism and God and all that kind of stuff. And then August of 2022 forward, we get basically hate speech and Hitler worship or something. I mean, a dramatic change. Now, someone brought up, not someone who commented, but someone in another blog post brought up this image and not knowing when it was posted and wondered if it was an image from 2007 or 2000 something. So I decided to look up the origin story for this image. Now, that's all this video is about. I cut and pasted this image into Google image search until I found the oldest reference I could find that would show up on, God help us, the Google Lens feature, or whatever they're calling it this week, for their Google reverse image search. I had to bypass it a bunch of times, but it eventually brought me to the actual author of the image. So here is the original image, and here is the copy that was made. Now, I got to point out, if you're the author, please don't get angry at me. This version that someone, quote unquote, will call it created, is technically enough modification to be fair use. I don't like it either. They didn't give any attribution where they got the original source from, but copyrights have some limits to it. Obviously, without doing an attribution, this page would be subject to DMCA takedown, even if it wasn't valid. But anyway, let's move on. So it was a unicorn character standing on a rock in the hills with this person, and this person. That's why there are three censorship marks. And if you're wondering why the person on their blog would use a rainbow unicorn, this is their other blog icon for themselves. So, and I'm pretty sure this is referring primarily to the mythical unicorn joke about things that are impossible to find yet are talked about a lot. The origin for this is the year 2020, and it's actually October. This is published on this website, November, but it was done in October. By right-clicking the image and getting getting the original URL and feeding it to a web page, a website that can analyze the image looking for metadata, it found out that the person had set up their camera to include their copyright data in the image. When I looked it up here off that blog that we're not discussing the name of, it didn't include any of that because the person had altered it too much and also ripped out the metadata. Also, it's being traded around like candy on the internet. Also, the description of this image made it almost impossible to find. Dear author, if you watch this video, this image is being described as person in white jacket and black pants standing on rock during daytime photo. And then it's also called free unicorn image on Unsplash. Why does it have that description? Technically, he's wearing white pants and a white. It's not white. It's not white or black pants or jacket. This is bizarre. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, getting back to this, why would a website like this? Why would this person have a giant gap in when they post? The person could have been locked up in prison for all I know, or the person could have decided to completely disconnect himself or herself from the internet. It's a himself. But we don't want to presume that, I guess. The individual shut down on this page only, quote unquote, 2007, and then 2022 started up again right before doing some horrible crime. Now the next thing is there's a metric F-ton of other websites this person's supposed to have posted to. I only found a few of them that were found to be archived. Some websites, social media sites especially, make it impossible to archive anything, so we'll never know the truth about them because they're now deleted. Screenshots don't count. You have to do an archive. And I want to point out that the image analysis of this was done using the Wayback Machine version of it as well. So yeah, some unicorn person who wanted to be infamous for doing something terrible. And I want to point out again, there isn't any question that the person's guilty anymore because they've removed all doubt, and there's an absolute F-ton of evidence. And claiming it just say it ain't so because your side looks bad because this keeps happening on your side of the political or ideological spectrum, you need to stop doing that. You got to own that. Okay. Anyway, that's the origin story for the image. I'm not going to bring up the rest of the blog information. You can find an archive to all of these things down below in the description, as well as a few others, so you can read about this if you want to. But this was about making sure people understood that that's the original, this is the copy, and you can read into it whatever meaning you want to, but the image could not have been posted to the person's page back in 2007 because it didn't exist yet as far as I can find, and that this image was done in the year 2020, and it was actually done in October, a month before it was posted to this website I've archived. So, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.